Today, I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be drinking on Christmas Day. This year, I've got a menu of 6 drinks, plus not forgetting the snowball recipes in the previous video. That pina colada snowball, that's definitely getting rocked out. So if you want to know what I'm drinking, follow me. Let's dive in. Now, the first drink I'm going to show you is, most people start the day with, like here in the UK at least, start the day with probably like a Bucks Fizz or a mimosa or something like that. I'm not a huge champagne-y kind of fan. So this year, I've got really into Vermouth and Tonic. So I'm just going this. This is going to be an easy drinker. This is Volch just down the road of me. And this is their dry Vermouth, their coastal Vermouth. And it's absolutely fantastic. Now, you could just play around with normal tonic waters. But I have got basically Franklin's & Sons souped up version of Feed the Trees Mediterranean tonic. This is Franklin's & Sons Mallorcan tonic, and this is fantastic. This is just an easy sipper, you know, just to get you through the sort of morning before the proper cocktails come out while you're cooking Christmas dinner. Easy, low ABV, but has got bags and bags of flavour. I could drink that all day. That is just so delightful. For me, I do prefer the kind of drier vermouth with tonic. I'm not a huge fan of sort of, I don't know what to call them, like just normal vermouth, white vermouth. I do prefer the dry vermouth. But that combo there, vermouth, dry vermouth and tonic, that is a cracking way to get started on Christmas Day. Now, once your guests are around, they've got comfortable, friends and family, you know, they've got a drink, they've got something like this in your hand. Now you've got time to kind of rock out the cocktails. And this is where we come and have a little bit of fun, a little bit of a play. And I've got 5 cracking cocktails for you. The first of which is a tropical spiced rum sour. So the first ingredient you want is your spiced rum. And I'm just picking Cane Rock here from Maison France. Lovely Jamaican rum at the base of this. You've got ginger, you've got that vanilla note coming through there. It's just fantastic. Could this work with other spiced rums? Yes, of course it could. You know, just have a little play. But the flavours I've got going on, this is just perfect. So I've got 50ml double bubble of the Cane Rock. And we've got 25ml of lime juice. Then I've got some pressed pineapple juice. I don't want too much of this. I think even 25ml was going overkill this. I just want a lovely subtle little flavours. So I'm going 15ml, 1.5 of pressed pineapple juice. Just to tie those flavours in, I'm going for 7.5ml of sugar syrup. And then we want to wake people up a little bit on Christmas Day. So I've got my Hellfire Habanero Shrub Bitters. I'm just going for 10 drops of this just to give it a nice, subtle but feisty little heat coming through. And then with sours, as I've said time and time again, I never deal with egg white. I have to cater for vegans. I have to cater for pregnant hens if we're doing mocktails and things like that. So I never ever use egg white. And it's too, when we're getting onto the egg white versus foamers, bottles of foamers, as I say, I use both. There's no right or wrong here. But if I want, like if I'm doing a sour, I kind of want that velvety consistency in a cocktail. So I do use like an aquafaba or an egg white replacement. However, if I just want a layer of foam on top, that's when the foamers come out. And that will just give you, that won't change the consistency of the drink. It'll just give you a lovely foam. Whereas the aquafaba, Og's aquafaba, will kind of give you that lovely sort of velvety smooth texture. Now I just want about 20ml of aquafaba in here. Now feel free to serve this up in a double old fashioned or a rocks glass, but as it's Christmas Day, we like to make a little bit more of an effort. So I've just got a lovely sort of coupe Nick and Nora glass that we're using here. This one's from Artis. Just gonna double strain this into the glass. Then as it's a spiced rum, you could garnish up with cinnamon or a little bit of nutmeg or something like that, but we're just gonna use a dried orange just for ease. Oh, that is incredible. I use that word a lot recently, but that is lovely. From the spiced rum comes through. It's just that little hint of sort of pineapple that just comes through. Just at the end, you've got that lovely little bit of heat from those habanero, the Hellfire bitters that comes through, but not overpowering at all. But it's that lovely velvety consistency. That is a fantastic sour, fantastic. Now for your third drink, I'm going for a Negroni. Now I often say I'm not the hugest fan of Negronis, but when you play about and have little riffs and twists on them, that's when I kind of do drinking them. So this version is kind of like a port Negroni, but with a little bit of extra black cherry that goes on. And this will double up as 2 different drinks if you want it to. So the first ingredient. Now the gin I'm going to choose for this is a brand new gin It's behind the bar, brand new brand, Polarity up there. And these are really cool. They've got two different gins, the sort of the lights, the whites, if you want to call it, and then the dark, the black kind of gin. I'll go through the botanicals in a minute, but just something I want to little show you. This is really cool. You see this little disc on the top of the bottle here. You can take it off, it's like a magnet, spin it upside down, and then hopefully, if we can kind of see that. Can you see that on the close-up? Let's try and get that up on the close-up there. And then what I'll do, you won't see this because it'll fall off. You can kind of spin it and it will turn around and go, now you want a martini. Now it's an iconic or a gimlet kind of cocktail. It actually tells you, look, if I hold that up there, actually tells you, or you can have little games with the lids. I really, really like this. But actually for the gin, so the botanicals or the flavour profile coming through this gin is green walnut, saffron, lemon and honey. And I think this is going to work incredibly well in this Negroni. So I'm kind of going for equal measures. Depending on the size of your glass here, I'm just going for 30 mils. But you could go up to 50 mils, you could come down to 20 mils, completely up to you. But we're just going equal measures. So can you see that? It's like a dark, I'm going for 30 mil of the dark Polarity gin. I do want to point out as well that those gins do live on their back bar through merit. You know, they're not there just for token gins. It's a flavour profiles that I just haven't got in any other gin. You know, it's black walnut and, or sorry, green walnut and saffron that are in there, the lemon and honey. It just works so well. Perhaps, if I'm being honest, perhaps not a gin and tonic gin for me, but definitely a cocktail gin. Now, the second ingredient, I'm going for some port. Again, your favourite port. We've just got bottles of Marks and Spencer's port in the house because it's really, really good stuff. This is the classic Finest Reserve port. So I'm just going for 30 ml of port in the cocktail. And then Negronis, you're obviously thinking Campari. I haven't had a bottle of Campari behind the bar here now for quite a few months because I've swapped over to, again, Vaults Bitter, the same people as the vermouth that I've got here. It's incredible kind of bitter aperitif, amaro, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely incredible. If you really don't like Campari, but you kind of want those bitter, sweet kind of drinks, those liqueurs, those amaros technically, then do check out this. This is fantastic stuff. So again, 30 ml of your bitter. Will Campari work? Yeah, of course it will. It'll just make a very different drink. I'm going for lovely, luxurious flavours in this Negroni. So therefore, we've got Vaults Bitter. And then the final ingredient. Now, this would double up as in your cherry liqueurs if you've got one, but I don't need one now because I've got Dutch Barnes Black Cherry Vodka. This is incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible. You don't want to go too heavy. It's still 40% out and out vodka at the end of the day, but it has got lovely, luxurious sort of cherry notes coming through it, black cherry notes. So we're going for 15 ml of black cherry vodka. And I'm just going to put some chunky ice in my cocktail shaker, and then we're just going to stir down. If you've got a mixing glass or if you want to make it straight in the glass, you do that. I'm just going to stir it down in a cocktail shaker. I don't think you need to buy a mixing glass these days. There's various different, like even a jug's going to work. Of course it is if you're at home. So just stir this down 30 seconds, maybe 25, 30 seconds. Now, if you've got some big ice cubes at home, I haven't got any in there at the moment, but if you've got some big chunky ice cubes, go for that. But I've just got some decent sort of chunky ice in there. Try not, this is the pink bags. If you go to the supermarkets, the sort of premium ice, if you like. So it's just a little bit better than those blue bags if you go to the supermarket. And then we're just going to single strain that over the top. Now, I think this deserves definitely an orange for the garnish as well. Wow. Oh, wow. Is that a Negroni? Yes. Gin element, bitter element. You kind of, your vermouth has been swapped over to a port. So you've got that port there, but you have got that gin and bitter. But that is a very approachable Negroni, and I love the little hint of sort of black cherry that comes up at the end there. Not sweet, it's a sweeter Negroni because of the port, obviously, and that black cherry vodka's got a tiny little bit of sweetness to it, but that is just rich, lovely depth of flavours in there. It gives you a lovely little cuddle. That is a perfect Christmas Day drink. Oh, and the little hack for this as well, if you want to turn that into an Americano and add like tall glass ice, lengthen it out with soda water, that'll work exceptionally well as well. So you've got like a couple of different drinks going on there. I like the boozy version, but I might be tempted to add a little bit of soda to this on Christmas Day if you've had a few different drinks. Now, drink number 4, cocktail number 4, is something that you could easily batch up. You can make it in a jug and pour out. You could shake it if you really want to. I'm just going to serve it straight up in the glass. And I've picked the lovely, cool little funky glitch glasses from artists that have just been released at the tail end of 2024. Fantastic. So we're just going to make this straight in the glass. And I've called this a citrus ginger Collins. The first thing we're going to do actually is load up the glass with a little bit of ice, not all the way full, but just a bit of ice in there to start off with. Does make your life a little bit easier. And then I'm going for the base spirit. And again, take this as inspiration because there are various other brands that do similar, but just not quite as good. This is Dutch Barnes Mediterranean Citrus. Really, you don't even need to get it there. Oh my God, it's just like, it's like a proper boozy. But do you know what? Right, this is the route I'm going down. If I wanted to, bearing in mind I really, really love my dry orange curacao and it's different notes. If you had Grand Marnier, if you had Cointreau or something like that in your house, this would easily double up of that. It's a fantastic, fantastic vodka. But it's just, I've just got the dry orange. I wouldn't probably use this in margaritas. There's just a little bit extra sweetness in my dry orange curacao, but this would be, that's the best way of describing it. And not as sweet orange. Well, it's not a liqueur, it's a vodka, let's be honest. But you kind of understand what I'm getting at here. So we're going for a 50 ml double bubble of the Mediterranean vodka. Then I'm just going for some lemon juice, just about 25 ml of lemon juice. And I want some elderflower cordial, elderflower syrup. Now I have got elderflower syrup here. I haven't got the elderflower cordial, but if I show you that, you'll know exactly what I mean. You could just get bottles of bottle green, beaver, elderflower cordial, whatever you want to. I've just got lots of different monins here. They just work for me. They're effectively the same thing. Maybe a slightly sort of different sugar level to them, bricks level if you want to get technical and geeky, but they do essentially the same job. So we are going for a 15 ml of the elderflower syrup. The other thing I will say, monin syrups will last a hell of a lot longer than what they bottle green and the beaver as well. You have to keep them refrigerated in the fridge. They're good. They do start to go off. They start to get fizzy, and that after 6 to 8 weeks or so, maybe slightly longer. So that's why I do use syrups. Then the ginger element is coming from our Franklin's and Sons ginger ale. I just love this stuff. I really do like Franklin's and Sons. They will be featuring heavily next year. I've been using them for a good year plus in my business. Anyway, I flipping love these. So I'm just going for a little bit to start off with. Just stick your spoon in and give that a very gentle stir. Remember, as I said, you could batch this up or shake this if you wanted to. That would make that sort of serving of your just slightly easier. Top it up with a bit more ice, and then we're just going to finish it off with a little bit more ginger ale. Then a cracking garnish for anything sort of gingery. I always go mint as well. You could do like a dehydrated lime, green lemon. I keep calling them limes. There we go. So what have we called this? Citrus ginger Collins. I tell you what, actually, that vodka has changed with the ginger. I've just had it neat, and I've just had it sort of with a tonic and that. And it's very orange forward. Now, yes, I have got lemon in there, but now it's kind of very sort of tart lemony forward. The orange notes are sort of subtle down back. That I mean, orange and ginger is just going to work. Citrus and ginger, it's a fantastic drink. Long, luscious, easygoing. The elderflower just comes through subtly at the end there. That's fantastic. Right, 2 more drinks to go, but the 5th one, I'm going to keep it as another sort of simple-ish highball, but oh my God, this is absolutely fantastic. And the base of this, we are going for, like, again, there are various other products available, but this is an Irish whiskey, but a honey liqueur Irish whiskey. Oh my God. It's got like chocolatey notes, and it just kind of reminds me of like a liquid crunchy. Do you know Crunchy Bar here in the UK? It's just what it reminds me of. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. Now, I warn you, this is a little bit sweeter, okay? So hence the ingredients I've used here. But this is luscious, gorgeous. So we're going for a 50ml double bubble of the Irish honey whiskey. Now I've got some cloudy apple juice or pressed apple juice. I'm just going for 30ml here. I'm not using any citrus at all because that will come from the mixer, and the mixer again is what I used in the Vermouth and Tonic. It's kind of that it's Mallorcan tonic, but a lot of you guys will know Fever Tree's Mediterranean tonic, but this is just better for me. I just prefer it. So I've got half a bottle there. I don't think I need to start a new bottle, but if you do, go for it. There we go, that'll do just for there. Just going to give that a very gentle stir. Top up with more tonic if you need to. I've still got a little bit left in that bottle there. Sprig of mint. I always think sprigs of mint and highball is just the way forward. And then honey, let's go for a dehydrated lemon. Just a garnish there. Actually, the obvious one would have been an apple, wouldn't it? Let's go for an apple. Where are my apples? That's why we haven't got them out, because I haven't got any apples here. I have got purple apples. We can maybe go for a bit of colour contrast. We have got a purple apple. Let's go for that, but I haven't got any normal apples. That tonic water, I know tonic water will put a lot of people off, but just think of, it gives you a little bit of bitterness, which is going to counteract the sweetness, but it's also got that Mediterranean vibe, that sort of lemon, that orangey notes to it. Hence, I've not used any citrus. So they do balance out that honey whiskey perfectly, and that cloudy apple juice. That is stunningly balanced. Really, really simple 3-ingredient highball. I flipping love that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Now, your sixth and final cocktail is something you're going to be hearing a lot more of in 2025. In fact, one of the first videos, proper videos that I've got coming out in 2025 is focused on this, and this is the Paloma. I'm not going to talk too much about it now, wait for that next video, but the Paloma is just essentially tequila and grapefruit soda, but you can have so much fun with them. They're just like the base of this. So as with a lot of tequila drinks, like margaritas as well, we kind of like the whole sort of salt rim. So I'm just going to do that first. And I never do the whole rim, just purely because a lot of people don't like salt and don't want to drink, you know, through salt, if you like. So I kind of like do, you'll see it in a second. Here, I've got a kind of mixture of I've got my Cornish sea salt in here. I've actually got smoked Cornish sea salt in here. I've got Fronut chili powder, I've got pineapple, and I've got a bit of lemon powder going in here. Can you see these powders above my head? These ones? Right. Now I'm just gonna pop that in the glass, pop that in there, look, and that's what I kind of like. That's that effect from a salt rim. That's what I like to do. Now this cocktail's got a little bit of puree in it, so I'm going to shake this up. So I'll start off with the puree, so it's right here, and I'm just going to use the watermelon Real. It works perfectly well. ODK have got one. You could use fresh watermelon if you wanted to, just muddle it down with a little bit of sugar, but just easy, long life, shelf stable. 10 to 15ml, don't go too much. Don't make these too sweet. So 10 to 15ml of Real watermelon puree. Then go for my tequila of choice, which is the Cascabel Reposado tequila. You can see, you know, I've been rocking these out on masterclasses quite a lot recently, hence the pourers that are still in them. So this Reposado, fantastic. Could go Blanco. I think I won't necessarily waste an añejo, more expensive stuff in here, but I think Reposado is just going to round this off perfectly in here. So 50ml double bubble of your Reposado tequila. Just a touch of lime juice to round that off, so 10ml. Then I think saline solution works perfectly in Palomas, especially if you've got a sweeter grapefruit soda that's coming out to play here. I just think salt and tequila just works. It's a 20% saline solution, so 20 grams of salt to 100 grams or 80 grams of water, I should say. So that'll keep in your fridge for quite a while. You just want 5 drops. If you do a 20% saline solution, you just want 5 drops. 4, 5. I know a lot of people will be thinking, oh no, I don't want salt in my cocktails. Trust me, salt elevates flavors the same way it does with cooking. So, you know, very rarely would you cook without the use of salt. Drinks are no different. It just elevates. Salt in a pina colada is next level. And then now, I'll be honest, the kind of inspiration for this cocktail came from a mezcal, and I don't have mezcal here. We've not quite got into that yet. On my tequila journey, I'm still at sort of tequila levels. Mezcals might feature like the tail end or midway through 2025. I might go down there. But, you know, so mezcals have got this inherently sort of smokier vibe to them. I'm not saying all mezcals do, but that's typically what we want. So the inspiration for this, I'm going to use Miss Betty's Smoke and Oak Bitters to kind of complement this. And 10 drops of these. Then I'm just going to strain that into my highball glass. By the way, Palomas are not supposed to be as technical as that. As I said, it's literally like tequila, grapefruit soda, and maybe a splash of lime, depending on how sweet your grapefruit soda is. That's it. But it does allow for a perfect base to riff off of, which we're doing. So, you know, you don't have to shake a Paloma, but look out for that video, like early couple of weeks in 2025. Anyway, and then for this, Franklin's and Sons, I'm not just saying that, they don't pay me in any shape or form. I flipping love Franklin's and Sons. I think all of their mixes are fantastic, a level above most other mixes for me personally. I just really, really rate them. And this is by far and away my favorite grapefruit soda as well. So just going to top that up, half a bottle, garnished with half a dried grapefruit wedge. And I think that's the one that I'm going to guzzle 3, 4, 5 of those on Christmas afternoon, because oh my God, the layers in that. Grapefruit first and foremost, watermelon kind of hits you. It's got this savory kind of like vibe to it that comes through from the saline solution in there. You do get that hint of smokiness that comes through from the smoke and oak bitters, but then you've got tequila at the base of it. I think Palomas are going to be a huge deal in 2025. I really do. This is fantastic. So there you go, Christmas Day sorted. Comment below which one of these you fancy making, which one of these is your favourite and most appealing. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, then please do. That helps me so much. You make any of my drinks over Christmas, upload them to Instagram, tag me at Steve the Barman, tag me in the actual photo. That'll live on my tags feed. I'll see you in 2025. If you want another video to watch, maybe the snowball video, I'm going to put the snowball video there. Watch that video right there.